join a company
that you are the person that you
Chogusel, yeah? Bring in good energy.
So,
Welcome to Crypto OGs. Welcome to Crypto OGs. Thank you so much for joining this podcast. And I have an amazing guest today. But before starting to introduce my amazing guest, remember, everything that we're saying today is not financial advice. Do your own research. And yeah, we're here with my very good friend Belinda Zhou.
Hi,
How are you,
everyone.
Belinda?
Hi everyone, thank you for having me today.
It's amazing and it's a pleasure to have you here. And we're today in Micro Studio. And we can see the bullhead up there. So happy to be in Dubai with you. So for people that don't know you, let's start with the first question. Who is Belinda?
Hi everyone, my name is Belinda Zhou. I come from China. I actually graduated in 2016 and then I got selected to Sheikh Mohammed's ruler of Dubai's education program. So I was his trainee for 2 years. He essentially sponsored me 2 years to work and study, 1 year in Cambridge and another year in Dubai. So I came to Dubai in 2017 and fell into the rabbit hole of crypto and have been doing crypto ever since. So I started as a CMO for an ICO project back in 2017. Contributed to a fundraise of 15 million.
Wow.
Got the project listed on Binance, exited from the project and have been doing angel investing for 3 years. And now I run my own fund, Sharding Capital. I launched a fund early last year. And now we have been actively investing and making noises in the space.
Making big noises, and congratulations for your success, Belinda, at such
Thank
a young age, and obviously is always supporting women in Web3, which is amazing. We need more space like this.
Definitely.
Because you're empowering a lot of people that are getting started, young entrepreneur women. Let's talk about, because I'm very fascinated about your experience going from marketing now to investments, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, but as you said, you're the founding partner of Sharding Capital.
Mm-hmm.
As you say, it's an investment firm, but you invest in early stage blockchain projects. Tell us a little bit about your experience having your own VC. How it has been?
Yeah, so it's a fantastic journey,
Yeah.
I would say, because so I started as a CMO for ICO projects.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I was on the builder world,
Yeah.
going through everything from ideation to fundraising to product building and then launching,
Yeah.
exchange listing, market making, all this parts of the project side. It allows me to have a better eye on identifying what project could potentially make it in the market, right? So I naturally become a decent investor in identifying what project I can write my angel checks. And also, apart from just giving them the cash as an angel, I will also be able to help them a lot in terms of PR and marketing, giving them like feedbacks in terms of how they can do their go-to-market strategy, etc. So that has been quite rewarding. That's why I moved from like a builder to more of an investor role, because I realized I can enable more founders, to do bigger things in the crypto world. And then now, because I run my own VC, so the dynamic kind of changed, because some of my for my fund, it's a 20 mil fund.
Wow.
A small percentage is my own money. Basically my gains from my crypto journey, and the majority comes from family and friends, some local family offices here, for example, and then some funds of funds and some OG founders. Having them being my investor also change our dynamics.
Yeah.
Previously we were just friends, but afterwards, after they become my investor, they are also my enabler, sort of.
Yeah.
They try to give me quite a lot of good intros, good resources that I can, do more things, potentially write bigger checks, the dynamics sort of change, and then they become your supporter in a more profound way.
So basically, you made a lot of very good influential people, very smart, very OGs, and then obviously bringing them on board from the investment side. It's not only the capital that they invest, it's also the knowledge, the networking,
Definitely.
and the dynamics change. And I remember you mentioned, we were last year in Jitex, we were in a crypto event. I remember very well that you say, that obviously you were in marketing before, and now go into investment. But what inspired you, because you weren't also in a lot of startups, but what inspired you just to go to Web3? Because you said you went to the rabbit hole. Why crypto?
Why crypto? It's a very good question. Like crypto or Web3 in general, it's a place that once you are in, you never want to get out, because it is such a dynamic industry, and people here are very active, and they're always like keen to learn more and do more. Web3 essentially gathers a lot of young people, and when you talk about investing, it's investing into the future, investing into the young people. So Web3 is a place where you find a lot of freedom and a lot of equality. Because if you look at any other industry, you know, they all sorts of a bit of bureaucracy there. You know, you need say, with Chinese say 关系, or here in the region you say wasta, to do certain things at certain levels, right? You need that connection to do that. But in crypto, it's so young people friendly. It doesn't discriminate your age or your gender. You know, as long as you have your own specialty, you can do a lot of things. So if you're good at, say, on-chain analytics, you can like follow the big whales movement or some very smart people, and you copy trade, and you could make a lot of money. And then if you are a coder, you know, you can do like say, you know, hacker, like say white hacker, or you go to those bounty programs, and then you also can make a lot of money from those platforms, developers, right? And then if you are good at trading, you can also, you know, identify, you know, what coins potentially will make it or potentially could crash, like Luna. Then you know, you will also make like overnight, you know, you can become like a billionaire overnight, potentially. It's something that's very rare in any other industry, because it's already relatively stiff, right? But crypto, it's very young, very dynamic, so there's a lot of opportunities for young people who are driven, who are entrepreneurial like us. And I think there's a million opportunities here. So as long as we live in the industry, we understand what's going on, we will be able to capture the alpha. So I personally find it very exciting to work in this space. So
that's for everybody that's listening and watching right now. Start to follow some of the advice that Belinda's giving you. She's a real crypto OG, and obviously you came from the corporate world, you know, in Web 2. What is the difference? You mentioned obviously the dynamics. You mentioned it's not like, well, like the old traditional establishment, but what is like the key difference that you have between a traditional Web 2 company and Web 3, and what you like and what you dislike from both? Yeah, so I'm like a crypto kid, because I graduated in 2016 and I joined crypto in 2017. So I'm not as literate in the Web 2 world, but as far as I have experience and I have known, you know, like what I mentioned, right? Web 3 is very open, it's very inclusive. So as long as you are very driven, you know, you can find a lot of opportunities in the Web3 space. And then secondly, the Web3 world is more collaborative. You know, we have this culture called Wagami. Wagami, you know, we are all gonna like make the house Wagami. We also have a Wagami villa here in Dubai hosting Web3 we talk about that in a bit, because it sounds fun. Yeah, it is a good place, you know, to gather people, share the alpha, and we vibe together basically. So Web3 people tend to vibe together, and also because for projects, they tend to want to take as many good backers, smart money as much as possible. So, you know, when it comes to investing in the Web3 world, we tend to share deals and compare notes so that we can actually enable the project on different dimensions, right? But in Web2 world, they tend to be more protective. And competition. And competitive, right? So that's one thing I like about Web3 as well, because, you know, it's a truly collaborative environment. And then also Web3 VC doesn't take a big chunk in the project. So a big fair portion. So I would say like usually VCs or private investors take about say less than 20% of the total token allocation, and there's a fair chunk, like, you know, say 50 or even 40%.
goes to community or airdrops, and then participants, the ecosystem. So project like this encourage more participation from the community. So it is also a lot more exciting and a lot more inclusive. So it essentially creates open economy. So all people can try to come in and then contribute and get their fair share. Yeah.
That's very important. This is the first time, obviously, that our community learning about VCs, so which is amazing. There's a lot of young people learning about marketing, about economics, but you are the first guest that are specialists into VC. So
nice.
Tell us a little bit about venture capital. What do, for example, VC like Sharding Capital look for before investing in a project? What is the main thing that you look for? You see and they send you the proposal. What is the key ingredient that you look in a new project for some people that want to go and pitch VCs, for example?
Yeah, so basically we have a scorecard. There are quite different metrics.
Yeah.
Before that, I'll just quickly share what kind of deals in the Web3 space. So I tend to think of it as a sandwich. For all the project in the Web3 world.
Okay.
You can think of it as a sandwich, and you can have the bread underneath. That's a infrastructure. That's a support for the whole ecosystem, and then you have the middleware, then all the juicy parts, and then you have the up there which people see and touch. That's the dApp.
The bread.
So yeah, that's the bread on the upper part, and so you basically have infrastructure, middleware, and dApp level. So that's basically the structure of the blockchain projects. And when we look at the scorecard for different type of project, the weight kind of different. So if you look at more infrastructure project, then we look at really the technical competence of the team.
Okay.
Because if they are not able to deliver the product, or the product is not secure, then the whole protocol or whole product cannot make it.
Yeah.
So the technical competence is very important. And then we look at their tokenomic design. If they launch a token, if it's constantly inflationary, then if your token is broken, if the chart looks horrible, it actually impedes the adoption of your protocol.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so tokenomics is very important, and then also their BD ability, essentially marketing ability, because as an infrastructure project, you need to attract or BD project to be built on you, so that your ecosystem can flourish and you can have that network effect.
Okay.
So if you don't have that in place, then no matter how amazing or useful your product is, no one is interacting with your protocol, right? Then it's essentially a lead junk, which is a shame, right? So for infrastructure project, we tend to look at this a lot. The founder, the technical competence of the team, And then as for for middleware or dApp level, that's more app. In the Web2 world. So we look at the founders and also the scorecard is similar, but the weight is we will put more weight on the marketing, the user acquisition strategy of these dApps, because they need to encourage as many people as possible to use the dApp, right? So their ability to run, say, referral campaigns, like exchange, referral campaigns are very important, and then incentivization programs, how you incentivize users to become your ambassadors, how you design airdrops. All these are very, very key, and also the resources that the founding team can digest as well, because as VCs, essentially, we are giving them resources, but it's up to them to digest those resources and make the resources their own, right? We can introduce VCs, big VCs, and then very, very powerful Web2 companies, but it's up to the team to pitch them and then convince them to work with them or invest into them.
Okay,
right? Yeah.
Amazing. So how many projects have your VC have invested? Since it started? How many?
So I personally invested over 30 projects.
Okay.
Yes. So, but as a fund, because we tend to see 2022 not a very promising year, So luckily we only invested 5 projects.
Yeah.
But this year onwards, we're gonna deploy a lot more because it's actually a very good time to invest in the primary market because the valuation has come down a little bit, and then you get better chance to negotiate, the valuation. And now if you invest in, because we tend to invest a project under say 30 mil valuation. So, if we get to invest in good project like this, at that valuation, the downside is very limited. It's basically giving you a protection on the downside.
Okay.
But then your upside is quite exciting. So we tend to invest a lot more this year. Yeah.
Amazing, and it's very interesting that where we were talking before in the lift when we were coming here. You say something that is very conservative but it's real. Like some people say they have invested 300, 400, 500, but you say 30, so it's more like conservative and make it more real. Because remember we were talking about this company and they say they have millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So it's better to be more conservative. Don't be too risky investing in so many projects in one go, right?
Yeah.
It's better. And how big is your team right now? Like where are they located? Tell us a little more about the human part of Sharding Capital.
Yeah, definitely. Just on that note you mentioned, right? So we don't really like spray and pray approach because when we invest, we really want to make sure this is a good team. We want to work, for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So when we invest in the capital. We also invest a lot of resources and efforts into them, time and resources, right? That's a very scarce resource. So we really want to make sure we get the right project and then allocate our time and energy to help them grow. So yeah, we're not a big fan of spray and pray. We think that it's a low EV thing in the long term. So talking about Sharding team, we have a very lean team. So right now we only have about 5 people.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have team. I'm based in Dubai because Dubai is sort of my home turf. I've been here since 2017. So, and then Dubai is a rising crypto capital. So we're able to leverage a lot of good resources here, and we open doors for our portfolios in the region. When we have teams from Taiwan, from Hong Kong, and then soon we're gonna set up a team also in the US.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so it's gonna be, but still a lean team. We don't really like too many people in the team, but everyone is a working machine. It's a beast. Yeah. So So that will be Sharding, and we actually are launching this second fund on the liquid side. Yeah. So we're getting more interest on the liquid side. So that will be more exciting and involve more traders.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Belinda, part of VC that Sharding Capital has, is there anything else that you're going to add a part of the liquidity in the near future, or something else that you're doing a part of being a VC?
So although we're VC, right? We because I come from a marketing background. So we really value VCs having their own voice and opinions. One thing I really appreciate about A16Z is that they kind of position themselves as a media platform. They publish a lot of narratives and everything. So we believe as a VC, we also need to have our own opinions. So we do a lot of actually branding and marketing for Sharding Capital. So last year we did quite some hackathons, demo days, and networking mixers, private, big scale, so that we can get connected with more good resources in the space, so we'll be able to help the project more. And also, people get to know us more, the founders, the fellow VCs, so we get more inbounds and deal flows. So that's one thing we're quite actively working on, something we have achieved some good results because people have been come to us directly, and then when they think of Dubai, they think of Sharding Capital. So that's a very that's something very rewarding for us. And this year we're running some big hackathons, and then we're also doing more branding, and then more like a content creation. For example, shipping narratives, shipping project report, research, etc., so that people can see more voices from Sharding.
And obviously having the amazing founder of Sharding Capital and Crypto G's is very good all the time. So the people can get the human part of Belinda, And let's talk about that human part a little bit, because like you have an amazing experience. You're very smart, very young. But tell us more about before crypto. Like, tell about what do your family thought when you jump in crypto? Tell us about that part.
It's quite a journey.
Yeah.
Because I joined crypto in 2017, and I was actually admitted to a very high, good university in Beijing for my graduate study. Like I was. So I was about to go there, but then I decided to, come to Dubai. And then later on, I joined crypto, and crypto is sort of demonized in the Chinese society, because of all the scams and a lot of ICO bubbles. So they tend to see a lot of negative part from the media. So when I joined crypto, they thought I was like, involved in some sort of pyramid scheme. But after I proved my legitimacy in the space and they got to know about it, they're okay with that part. But then they learn about the volatility and everything, and then they worry about my finance situation. But afterwards, I also proved that I'm doing quite well. And then some of them now, like they become more open about like cryptocurrency in general. Even some of my sisters or cousins ask me to buy like BTC and ETH for them, just as some sort of investment. So far so good, and I think my family, like a lot of people, right? It's a journey to get to know this new thing, because at initial stage there of course a lot of bubbles and a lot of different opinions, but afterwards if you hang out with the right people, you get to know the right part about it.
I believe like from in my situation as well, Belinda, it was I told all my family, and they didn't believe at the beginning, right? And they still like not believing 100% like us, like we were bullish on crypto, but they believe in us. So they support us, but now they're seeing it's a real technology, is something real that we're doing now. We're not just playing to do something. I think so that support us. But something that I'm very advocate in crypto is, I was raised by two women, so I like to be surrounded by women since I was a little kid. I've been trying to invite as many women into the show, because when 6 years ago, when I went to my first conference in London about blockchain, it was only one woman and 50 men. It was crazy, right? And now we see more women. So what do you think is still missing in crypto and blockchain for having more women on board in this industry?
I think as women ourselves, right, we just need to be more proactive. Position us as also leaders, pioneers in the space, and then acquire as like clarify your purpose first of all. What you want to do in the space. For example, I'm very clear with what I want to do. I want to become one of the best, investors, Web3 investors, right? And then so I work really hard on, analyzing different verticals, talking with the good, good pipeline VCs, and then, talking with the founders, identifying what project I want to have more research on, etc. So I'm very clear with the purpose, right? So I think for like not only for female but also for young people out there, very important thing, find your true purpose. Once you know what you want to do, everything else becomes secondary, because there will be always people telling you, you're too young, you cannot make it. If those criticisms are helpful, okay, take them into consideration. But if they're not helpful, then move away from the criticisms.
Like ignore the noise.
Ignore the noise. Focus on what you want to do, and really build your own venture, your own purpose, your own company, and find the good resources, find the good companies. Basically, people who can co-work on the things with you. So that's the more important thing. And then I know there be a lot of noises around you saying, hey, you can do this. I started from marketing, right? People tend to joke about CMO, because some
Yeah.
CMOs nowadays, right, aren't really doing a good job in branding women in the space. They you know they tend to like send some very like say not appropriate photos about themselves, and then they position themselves as in like some hook to do business with the companies. So I think if that's how you position yourself, it's such a shame, right? Like for me, I think it's great. You can do a lot more than that. Hey girl, like pay yourself more respect, and then do it more in a professional way, and people will also treat you professionally. And then as this circle becomes bigger and bigger, it will be a lot more open, inclusive for female entrepreneurs in the space. And so I think it's more about your own drive, and everyone else around you will just support you if you're doing the right thing. Find your own contributive purpose.
Amazing. So purpose is very important.
I purpose is very important. But once you find your own purpose and meaning, you can't really be swayed by external things.
You are laser focused when you find your
your
purpose.
Horse vision,
Well, in wrapping up, I have a question that's nothing related to crypto. What is your favorite animal?
Oh, wow. I never thought about this question. I would say dogs.
Okay, and any particular dog?
Labrador.
Labrador, okay.
Yeah, I used to have one. I think they are very friendly, and actually they also they're very
loyal.
So they actually sense your emotions, and then they know how to protect you and support you emotionally as well. So that's one species that I really like. But there's also another animal that I really like called they're horses. I ride horses as well. And when I was in England, right, I spent a lot of time with horses. Horses are very smart animals. And one thing I learned is that because horses can smell fear. If you are afraid in front of them, they smell your fear, and then they try to bully you. So if you are when you are working with horses, you need to be super confident.
On them. On you.
You need to be super confident. So for example, if you want to educate them, be harder on your reins and everything. And that's something I learned when I deal with people in the real world as well. In the human world. People love dealing with stronger people. So if you are weaker, naturally you could just get flushed out. So you need to also present yourself in a more confident way, and then you'll just attract good energies, and people will want to work with you. So that, like horses. So that's something I learned a lot from horses.
You learn a lot from
fake it until you make it.
Into the visit as well. You learn a lot from animals, like from the dogs. You say the Labrador, they're very loyal, and they can protect you. So as a VC,
so that's more like a team. And then horses teach you how to work with other people.
Amazing. So we're going to invite you. The reason why I asked you is because we're going to create an NFT of your favorite animal, and then we'll give it to you. And then in March, we're going to do an event here in Dubai with the crypto G's. You have to give the NFT back because we're going to do an auction. And the money that we'll collect, we're going to give it to an animal welfare. So we have some space to give back to the planet, let's call it like that, to network and to meet up with more crypto G's. Belinda, where can people can find you on social media or LinkedIn so they can connect you?
So I'm very active on Twitter nowadays. So can find me Ciao Belinda Zhou, Italian Ciao Ciao.
We'll put it here.
Ciao Belinda Zhou, and then you can also find me on LinkedIn, but I don't really use LinkedIn these days. It's more Web 2. And then if we want to converse, more, we can talk on Telegram. But Twitter is the space where you can find me, and then also share a lot of industry like thoughts, and then I also share some of my recent happenings and also observations in the industry. So happy that it can be useful for you.
Belinda, has been an amazing having you on Crypto
Thank
Gist.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming, and I hope everybody that's watching have taken the notes. And thank you so much also to the Myco Studio for having us here today. And Belinda, I hope to see you very soon
Thank you,
in the next
Andres.
event.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.